Hi everyone. My last day in Portugal, and I am outside Ancora and Caminas, and then I take the ferry in about 2 or 3 hours over to Spain, where I will pick up the trail on that side. And admittedly, I had a rough night. The place I chose to stay was so gracious. Everyone's so kind. But they didn't book just pilgrims, so people were up through the night. And even in our own room, we shared 4 people to a room. And the bunk beds, even though I'm on the bottom, they're made of a wood that anytime anybody even moved a shoulder, it was like, so, so admittedly, I did not sleep well at all. And I woke up this morning a little prickly. I think not because there's not the grace to to abide in joy, even if I don't get sleep, because I'm feeling the grace really strong and the flow really strong in this supporting this pilgrimage, but because I had an expectation. I was anchored into the idea that I needed a really good night's sleep for the long walk today. And anchoring into that expectation kind of made me prickly in the morning, and I really wanted a cup of coffee. I haven't needed coffee in the mornings. I've just been walking right at 6 and maybe around 9 stopping and lifting my feet and drinking a cup then. But I was like, I need a mood enhancement. And it got me reflecting on decisions and anchors, because decisions, we always have an opportunity to decide anew, even when we're on a trajectory that's kind of taking us in a direction we don't really want. Like this morning, I really wanted to kind of be in a bad mood, and I was by myself, so I wouldn't have burdened anybody but me. And I knew I had a choice, that I could either just give in to that trajectory or I could make a decision. And I made a decision to bear with myself and to open up to beauty happening in some way. I anchored into the reason I'm doing this pilgrimage, and the reason that I'm doing the pilgrimage is to abide. Now, as many of you know, I believe that at our very center, at our soul's center, there is God, and there is all beauty, all purity, all fullness can be found there. And this pilgrimage is just the greatest gift, to simply abide in that presence. So I turned my attention to that anchor point. And wouldn't you know, within a half an hour, I was at a place, it was about 9 a.m., and it was open for coffee, and 4 other pilgrims were there, and I had passed 2 more on the road, and the surf was coming up on the rocks. It was very, very beautiful, and I had a mood adjustment, because the anchor of why I'm doing the pilgrimage bore the fruit, and my decision to stay close to that anchor even when I was in a bad mood, or a prickly mood. It wasn't outrightly bad. That decision to stay and move off that trajectory yielded great fruit. And I think that there are some wonderful passages, both in scripture and in other inspired texts, that say that the fullness of life is like a well, it's like a water welling up within us at every moment to give us the fullness of life. So it got me thinking about anchors in general. I think every commitment that we're in, whether it be just a friendship that's deep, a friendship that's an acquaintance, a work choice, a way we do our day, everything has a resonance that has an anchor to it, right? It has a certain context or a certain meaning in which we kind of know ourselves and in which we operate in the given relationship, for lack of a better word. And our decision to stay true to that anchor helps us explore the depth of what the anchor is. That being said, so that's it in its best sense. That being said, sometimes our anchors aren't always for our highest good, are they? We may be in a friendship that is needing to transition. Maybe the friendship's not meant to end, but the anchor, the resonance with which we drew together in the relationship is no longer life-giving. And the relationship needs to shift its anchor point. So the resonance and the way we make our decisions around it can be at the service of each other's highest good. Our decisions can support us in finding the anchors that are helpful, right? We can make a decision to engage a new way of looking at something. We can make a decision to let go of control. We can make a decision to care for others and ourselves even more. We can make a decision to surrender to a higher power. So our decision is a faculty that comes from our anchors, because right, we are what we are. We are enculturated, we are largely blind, largely unconscious. We have all sorts of anchor points that serve our highest good and don't serve our highest good, and our decisions come from that lens with which we look at life. And our decisions, though, can step into the unknown and can open us up to re-anchor into our soul anchor. So I know those are words that are giving voice to something that I consider a lot, I reflect on a lot, and I teach and speak about a lot as well. But they're nice words, right? What if you looked at every point of contact you have as having a resonant anchor, and ask the very open question is, am I anchored in the resonance that's truest and for the highest good of all? If not, make a decision for that sake. If so, celebrate it and go deeper. So decisions and anchors, what think you? Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.